A huge lithium battery bank and a huge price increase to match. Is it all worth it? Let's find out as I review a 2019 Winnebago Travato 59KL, and we're starting right now. What's up everyone, Neil Balthaser here, and welcome to Ultra Mobility Reviews, where I give you an honest, common sense review of RVs and motorhomes. Now, this review is focusing on the Pure 3 Energy System by Volta, which is the big, huge difference between the 59K and the 59KL. In fact, other than the electrical system and a few other specs and this little Pure 3 badge on the back, there are no differences between the two. There's not even a different exterior color scheme available for the KL. It looks exactly the same as its electrically challenged little brother, which I think is a missed opportunity, because if you're paying a premium over the price of the plain old regular, normal, boring 59K, then I'd want to see maybe a new electric blue paint color or something that's unique to just the 59KL. Maybe? That's just me? Okay, one thing I didn't get to show on the regular 59K review is me sitting in the driver's seat. So here I am in the 59KL. Remember, I'm 5'10" and I've got the seat all the way back. It's comfortable, but if you're taller, this seat may not be comfortable for you on longer drives. All right, let's head inside and take a quick look around before I dive into my thoughts on the Pure 3 Energy System. Now the layout is exactly the same as on the 59K. You've got the galley up front, twin beds and your lounge midsection, and your bathroom across the rear of the van. Now, some of you were angry during my 59K review for not giving it credit for having a front lounge. Well, you can be angry at me again, because I'm still not going to give the KL any credit for having a front lounge either. That flimsy pull-out wooden cutting board thingy on the driver's side is not a workstation nor a tabletop for the driver, any more than this is exercise. Moving quickly on to the beds. Here I am laying on the driver's side, and again, I'm 5'10", and I just fit on this side. And on the passenger side, I have a little more length, so taller folks, you'll be sleeping over here. Again, if you want the full review with all the commentary and tidbits, then watch my review of the regular 59K, because nothing's changed in the bedroom/lounge. As well, nothing's changed in the bathroom other than a smaller fresh water tank, which was shrunk down to make room for the big Volta battery pack, which is directly below the bathroom floor. And I didn't show a size comparison in the 59K's bathroom, so here I am sitting on the toilet. I was disappointed to find myself squishing my head down because of the cabinet above. Winnebago, move the cabinet up or shorten the cabinet so that I can sit here comfortably. And here I am standing. You know, what's surprising to me when I see these shots is exactly how much headroom there is. Okay, now that these preliminaries are out of the way, let's talk about the Pure 3 Energy System, which is the star of this show. Current trend in the industry is best illustrated by this guy. Yeah, you can't have enough lithium. At least that's what the salespeople and RV manufacturers want us to believe. It's got 8,700 watt hours of pure lithium power, a 48 volt system, a 3,600 watt power inverter delivering a constant 30 amps of AC power, a 54 volt secondary alternator that can recharge your battery pack in under an hour and a half. Automotive grade lithium, nickel, manganese, cobalt oxide cell chemistry, y'all. Woo! Who doesn't want that? At the end of the day, your electrical system needs to satisfy three requirements. First, it needs to be easy to use. Second, it should be easy to service. And finally, it should meet your needs. Let's focus on these three things. Starting with ease of use. Attention! Winnebago would like you to know that their system is as easy to use as this. Pushing this one button does turn on the batteries. It's the equivalent of a battery disconnect switch, which, newsflash, every other coach has had since the dawn of time. But to use AC powered appliances in the KL, you also need to turn on an inverter, which you also have to do in every other coach that has an inverter. That's 2 buttons, Winnebago. Finally, you have to also push this little button hidden under the dash to arm remote start. And guess what? For every other system that has remote start like Volt Start by Heimer Road Trek, you have to do the same thing. So 3 buttons, Winnebago. 3, not just 1. Okay, now that we've dispensed with that marketing spin, let's move on to serviceability. This is best illustrated by closing your eyes and imagining that you're on a family vacation miles away from your home and all the stresses of work when suddenly, boom, all the lights go out. You're sitting in the dark. You've got your kids screaming in the back because Dora the Explorer just disappeared from the TV. Your teenage daughter is grumpy because she was charging her iPhone and now she can't Snapchat with her friends. Who do you call? You're not local. You don't know who to call. And the Pure 3 battery pack isn't just some off-the-shelf component. It's a self-contained all-in-one unit that's going to need to be completely removed and sent back to Volta for diagnostic repair. How long is that going to take? A new battery pack is going to have to be shipped back and reinstalled by the dealer. And that's at least a couple days of downtime where you're spending quality time with your family at La Quinta Motel.
Feeling good at La Quinta makes me dance, dance, dance. The feeling good, good creeping up on me. So just dance, dance, dance. Love the way you rock it, so don't stop.
If a single battery cell fails, wouldn't it be great to be able to continue using your remaining battery cells so that your trip isn't interrupted? Then, when I received the new battery at home later, I could pop it in myself and not have to even deal with an unknown dealer. So from a serviceability standpoint, I have to give the Pure 3 system low marks. Last, and probably most important, let's talk about capabilities and your needs. Lithium and large battery banks are the current favorite in RV marketing today. We're being told that we need huge battery capacities in order to boondock for long periods of time and keep our pets cool with the AC running while we're away. Those are the 2 use cases that we're constantly being told that we need. Boondocking, pets in hot weather. Boondocking, pets in hot weather. Let me add some perspective here, stated so well by Barbecue over at the Class B forums. Let's say you go on 10 weekend trips a year where you need to run the AC for 20 hours each weekend off the batteries alone. That makes 200 hours per year of AC use on batteries. Now, if you do that, say 5 years, that's 1,000 hours. Now, you're going to pay a $25,000 premium, give or take, for the Pure 3 system. So that cost of cool air is around 25 bucks an hour. Is it worth it to you? So when you're at the dealer and they're trying to convince you that stepping up to the KL will only result in a couple $100 more in financing a month, I want you to instead imagine yourself tossing 25 bucks out the window every hour that you run your AC off your batteries, because that's the reality of it. So what's my final verdict? Well, this is a first here on Ultra Mobility. I am not convinced that for most of us, the extra price on the KL is justified over the regular KL. So I'm going to recommend that you avoid it. Setting aside the coolness of the technology, it's just not an expense that most of us can justify. You can find better things to do with that extra $25,000 in your pocket. I'm sure of it. If you enjoyed this review of the Travato 59KL, then I'd love for you to throw a little love the way of our sponsor, Harvest Hosts, who made this video possible. Now I know Joel Holland, Harvest Hosts CEO, and I just love what he and his team are doing. They're opening up all kinds of interesting new places where you can stay overnight in your RV. Places like wineries and farms. And with just a $50 a year membership, you can't beat the price. I put a link in below so you can learn more, and if you sign up, you get an extra 10% off, so it's a great deal. As always, give me a thumbs up, and if you like this episode, subscribe and hit that little bell to be notified right when a new episode hits. All right, everyone, I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching Ultra Mobility Reviews, the place where you get an honest, common sense review of RVs and motorhomes. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Now it's your turn. So even though your gait and your rhythm might be a little bit different, the basic moves will be about the same. So get out there and have some fun.